Hi, everyone. Alexis here, and I am here welcoming back Elena Tonetti-Vladimirova. And Elena is the founder of Birth into Being and the creator of the best birth movie ever, Birth as We Know It. And I welcomed Elena back because, as some of you may know, she was a guest on my last series, and she shared with us an incredible practice for connecting to our creative power. It's this beautiful dance of the spiral. And there was a bit of a technical glitch, and the camera was faced on me watching her instead of seeing this beautiful dance. So I've asked her back so we can reconnect with the spiral and see this incredible practice. Hi, Elena.
Hey, good to see you again. I love take two, honestly.
Okay, great.
Always comes out more powerful. So God bless glitches.
Yep, God bless mistakes and glitches. And we're in a new format where you can see both of us. So, audience, you can watch the dance and see and watch me watching it. um, okay, so it's actually funny. My mom was the one who told me about it, and she was like, "Yeah, I was watching you watch it, but I couldn't see the beautiful dance." Okay, so just to warm us up here, Elena, can you share with us the connection between the spiral and accessing our creative power?
Well, it's direct connection. Honestly, I don't know how it can be not know. And I think that kind of information and knowledge and practice needs to be taught in kindergarten. So the kids are growing up with full awareness of that, the way the energy moves in our universe. It moves in spirals. The wave is never moving straight forward. In fact, there is no such thing as wave, really.
Mm.
New science tells us so. It can only be perceived as wave because we don't see the full range of the motion. So it looks like a wave to us, but in reality it's spiral. So when we align ourselves with that spiraling movement of energy, everything just feels right. Everything falls into places effortlessly. And our creativity moves in spirals too. And that includes just as big scale spiral as we evolve, as we grow, as we mature in our creative capacities, and in every small way, you know in that rise and fall experience, that now I am genius, now I am nobody, now I am this again, immortal and beautiful, and now I am fighting my death urge and battling my depression, and then it goes again, and it's not bipolar, it's actually the spiraling motion of of the life force dictating its essential cycles, and we experience it, and some of us experience it really deeply and primally, and we're being diagnosed with bipolar, and we're being treated, and instead of actually just allowing ourselves to lean into it and find our own internal cycling, how which spiral are we in? Either it's every second, or it's every minute, or it's every year, or because we have all of them on every scale. Every particle in every molecule is spiraling in their own right, and scientists are telling us it's chaos. They just don't know about spiraling. They don't want to know about spiraling because every particle has its own logic, its own agenda, its own right to spiral. And the field that unites them becomes a molecule, and it goes infinitely small and it goes infinitely large in the in the scale that we with our human brain cannot even comprehend, even closely. But somewhere in between, we can arbitrarily choose us as a standard of normal size.
Mm-hmm.
And in that range of frequencies, we can really let our body know that movement. It's an incredibly juicy and healing, rejuvenating way of moving the body that kind of allows itself to be informed by that movement of the life force through the physical flesh and bones and bloodstream. And I found that when I'm tapping into that spiraling motion, it heals me, it opens me up, it softens me, it brings me home. It brings me, my soul resides in my body when I consciously tune into that motion. And like, yes, this soul is the resident. Three-dimensional reality on Earth. We can do yoga, we can do breathing, but yoga is static. There is nothing in nature really that is static. It has different speed, but static is not the woman's journey. It's a male practice. Yoga is a practice that was created by man for man. They know very little about how female body works. And female body moves, it flows, it creates other people. It has cycles, it bleeds, it cries, it just has the flood of hormonal tides, ebb and flow of all the emotions that we have available at our disposal. So we're built very different than male bodies. So static motions are good in moderation, but female body needs to flow, needs to learn how to connect with itself in that breath of life. And the rhythm of the spiral can be visually seen when you're standing on the shore of the big body of water and you watch the waves. Like, what is waves? Waves are that spiraling in motion, because the water by itself, as you know, does not move. We perceive it as the water is moving, right? But water by itself doesn't have that free will to move. Something has to move it. Water is very feminine. It has to have some, divine masculine principle that kind of inspires her to flow, right? So the big body of water, it has a big container. It has this strong solid something to press against and be the water. So if we are to like call on that connection with that divine feminine principle, we can feel the motion start pulsating through the body very softly and gently. And then we can even allow the whole body get involved and become aware of all the myriads of spirals that are happening in the body. But then there is also one major spiral that connects us from the core of this planet, from the very essence of its existence, from the very center of this planet. It spirals up into our feet, up our legs, around our spinal column, out the crown chakra, into the tribe of spiritual beings from which you came. So it's that kind of primal connection of Newtonian physics and quantum physics, when the three-dimensional world is connected with the rest of the dimensions through our body, through that spiraling movement of the life force. And then there is a downward spiral that goes from that source from which you came into your crown chakra, around your spinal cord, down your legs, out of your feet, into the core of this earth. Those are two spirals. They're like DNA strands. And actually our DNA strand replicates that motion absolutely perfectly and precisely. As above, so below, you know that. So at any given scale, there is a bigger version of it and a smaller version of it. So our DNA is part of that law of motion, of energy. So when I allow my full body, do you want me to show you?
Yes, we'd love to see the dance. Yeah, the practice.
Yeah, so I am going to actually put on some music that I love spiraling to when I practice. I don't know if you hear it.
Yes, you can hear it.
Okay. Is it too loud?
No, it's great.
Sorry, let's see.
Elena, thank you so much.
So oh gosh, it took all my ability to focus and concentrate to remember that I have to actually end this.
Yeah.
because I can easily go into that for a very long time. And well, 10 minutes of it is my equivalent of a week in Fiji.
Yeah, wow, that's powerful.
Yes, it's so healing and recharging, and this is that helps me sustain my energy. I had a crazy schedule. Wearing all the hats that I wear.
Yeah.
And I'm 60. It's time where I'm from, 60 considered to be the end of the woman's journey. It's kind of you're not expected anything more than need sex for your grandchildren and cook them porridge. Them from school.
Well, this practice, it's so helpful. Especially as you're bringing that, the point that you're busy, and so doing a practice like this for 10 minutes is like a week in Fiji. That's so powerful, and a big part of, the conversation that's happening with creative women in this community is how to continue to take care of ourselves and access more creative power so it can fuel the work and all of our creative mission.
And that's exactly the ticket. You see,
yeah.
Spirals has fractal nature. So within it, you can go on fractal time and go for a week in Fiji while you're brushing your teeth. And I know that might sound puzzling, but as a woman, there is a knowledge inside you of what I just said. Said something really, really profound. And take it in. You can go on fractal time and have your quality of presence be felt in that multi-dimensional ripple effect. Yes, there is only 24 hours in a day. Darn it. But being who we are, those multi-dimensional fractal goddesses that can create other realities, we can actually draw on that innate ability and create. God knows, not a moment too soon. We missed way too much time at this point. Look at what's happening with this beautiful little planet. Man, without us, are nearly destroying it.
Yeah.
So we need to wake up really fast and fix that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep inviting you back to these series because we can spend hours talking about this just so audience, imagine Elena teaching you about birthing, like this, birthing yourself, birthing children. She has so much to offer. And I know that we were just talking before we got on this call that you have a program starting in August. And would you like to share with the audience what you're offering the community?
Yeah, it's a 16-day training, the full facilitator training, but people can attend the first 8 days. That's just the workshop part. And then 8 more days is a deeper dive that's training while journeying into the rest of the stuff, because 8 days are only 8 days long. So we get only to do maybe 20 of the processes out of 40 that being method offers. So you don't have to become a facilitator in order to attend facilitator training, because it's just 16 days is about 4 times longer than 8 days. as we go more into that fractal time, we get so much more to accomplish. But for those who want to become facilitators of this method, it's like step 2 in towards the certification. So yeah, as I said, there is 40 very different processes and exercises, and some of them are done one-on-one with the facilitator. Some of them are as a group, some of them in small groups of 3-4 people. But there is one common denominator that unites them all. They all are going after a slight shift into the altered state due to this kind of experiences that you kind of put yourself in that slightly altered state from which you can access the space beyond the story of poor me begun. This is the very piece that you don't deal with your issues cognitively just from the cortex, because the cortex developed after all of that was set in place. So you have to into the time in your history that can help you create new reference points of what it was like before you acquired those victim mentality points that keep you running in the contracted way, that stifle your creativity, stifle your sexuality, stifle your innate power. You have to go into the very beginning of you and undo all of those points of contraction. So so when you just talk about it, it's kind of, you're talking about stuff that is already a consequence of what happened. You need to go to pre-reason that caused you to contract. Whether it's during your gestation, when you were a fetus inside your mother, whether it's during primal period, it's very individual. And the common thing for us all is to undo the very, very source of our habit, a bad habit of being smaller than who we really are.
Wonderful.
Giving our power away. That is the main source of the trouble this civilization is in, that women give away their power. So now this is my job description. I free people. I love my job.
Yes. That's wonderful. Yeah, that sounds like a really powerful program. And on this email, we'll have ways that folks can sign up. They can connect to your website so they can sign up with you directly. And Elena, thank you so much for doing this take 2. The dance was beautiful. And again, I love speaking with you, and I love hearing what you have to share. And yeah, I know that the audience gets so much out of it as well. So it
was my pleasure.
Oh, thank you. And thank you, audience, for watching our take 2. And we'll see you later. Bye.